Okay. Shuklam Vishnum Sashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Durbiryukta Chaturbir Spatikamanimai Akshamalam Dadana Haste Naikena Padmam Sitamapi Chashukam Pustakam Chaparene Basa Kunde Nibha Samana Same Vagateyam Nivasatane Sarvada Suprasanna Pujantam Ramaramiti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakam Vande Valmiki Kokitam Valmikeer Munisimhasya Kavita Vanacharinaha Shriman Ramaktanadam Onayati Pram Gatim Pushpati Kritavarashim Mashaki Kritarakshasam Ayana Mahamala Ratnam Vande Latmajam Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam Tatra Tatra Kritamastakанjalim Bashpavari Paripurna Lochanam Marutim Namatarakshasantakam Vaidehi Sahitam Suradrumatale Haime Mahamandape Madhye Pushpakmasane Madhye Virasane Sustitam Grevacheti Prapanjanasute Tattvam Munibhya Param Vyakyantam Bharatati Viparivritam Brahmam Vajaye Shyamalam Namostu Ramaya Salakshmanaya Devyai Chatasya Janakatmajayai Namostu Rudrendra Yamanilebhyo Namostu Chandramarga Marudganebhyaha Hari Om. Okay. So we are in Yuddha Kandam. We have roughly covered about 1/4 of Yuddha Kandam so far. There are about 130 sargas. So we have covered about 30 sargas, which is nearly 22-23% of Yuddha Kandam. The Yuddha has not yet started, but all activities prior to that is what is being discussed. And as we are seeing, Ravana has realized, in fact, the moment Rama pulled the bridge and they came to the other side, I think Ravana has lost the game. He knows it for himself. In the heart of his heart, he knows that what he thought is impossible has happened actually. Because he was all along thinking that nobody can actually cross and come. Lanka is very safe. But the fact that Nala put on the bridge, in about 5 days they built the bridge and they came to the other side, itself has actually shattered. Although he is not saying it openly, nor Valmiki is saying it, but by seeing the kind of things that he is doing, we are able to, in some ways, guess that it has shattered his confidence a little bit. So that is why he has, really, in fact, even before their coming, the very fact that they are making a move itself has created a little flutter in him. That is why he sent Shuka to the other side of the ocean. We saw it in one of the earlier sessions, 2 sessions before, where he was trying to persuade Sugriva to go back. But even at that time, I don't think he had that much fear or an internal discomfort. The moment they put up the bridge and they have crossed and come to the other side, especially in large numbers, I think it has really created a bit of a problem for him. He is really worried, I think, because some of the activities that we are seeing already and what we will see today also gives us that kind of an impression that he is really afraid and some sort of discomfort is happening. So let us see what is happening. Last time we stopped when Shuka and Ravana, I think both of them, when they came back, they both said that in fact, when Shuka came and said he didn't was not happy, but anyway, he sent these 2 people. When they came back last time in Visa, they came back and said that they spoke great of Rama and the army. That's where we stopped. So let us continue from there. So 29th Sarga of Yuddha Kandam. There are 29 verses. And in the first 14 verses, Ravana snubs both Shuka and Sarna for talking in praise of the enemies. I mean, if that is the fact, rather than trying to make sense of it, rather than trying to understand the gravity of the problem, instead of doing that, Ravana actually snubs them and even expels them from the court. These are all actually acts of a bit desperation, actually. See, when you get, when fear overpowers someone, when someone gets a little easy with mind, these kinds of things happen. It looks a little too much, but that shows that Ravana is a little perturbed. Then Ravana calls a set of spies and Shardula heads this set of spies and he says, go and find out the strength of Rama's army and come. And as usual, when Shardula and the spies came, other spies came, Vibhishana spots them and they were caught. And of course, as we know, Rama is, he is of a different kind. So therefore, he says, set them free. They all return to report to Rama. So that's what he put in this Sarga. So when Sukha and Sharana came back and talked high of Rama and the army and his people around him, look at what Ravana is saying. He says, Hanyam aham tvimau papau shatrupaksha prashamshakau yadi purvopakarair me nakrodo mridutam brajet. Hanyam aham. Tu imau becomes tvimau. Tu imau papau shatru paksha prashamsakau. All those are Dvivachanam. Imau, papau, shamsakau, because there are 2 people here. In Sanskrit, you have this Dvivachanam. So Shuka and Sarana, both of them are there. So it is referring to both of them. Yadi purva upakarehi me na krodaha mridatam vrajet. So that is the padacheda here. So hanyam, aham hanyam. I would actually kill. I would have killed actually. Imau papau shatru paksha prashamsakau. These 2 fellows are doing a prashamsa of Shatru Paksha. The enemy's army, they are talking high of it. They are doing this papa, this sin of talking high of the enemies. So instead of trying to understand why are they saying it, what is the message contained there, he gets very desperate. So he says, I could have actually killed. Hanyamaham mimo papo. And why did they not kill? Yadi purva upakarehi, because they helped me. If they have not helped, nakrodo mrudutam vrajet. If only this that they have done some services in the earlier things, because of that my krodha has softened. Mrudutam is softened. So my krodha has come down. It has, if they have not done it, it would not have come down and I would have killed him. So that's what he says. The Purvapakarehi Krodaha na mridatam vrajet, if it had not come down, anyamaham tva imau papau Shatru Paksha Prasamsako. If this has not happened, I would have killed him, killed these two people. That's what Ravana is saying. Apadvam satagachatvam sannikarshadito mama nahi vam hantum ichami smaram yupakritani vam hatabev kritagnauto mayi sneha parangmukau. Apadvam sata. Apa is away. So go away. Keep away. Apadvam sata gachatvam. Itaha sannikarshat itaha mama. Apadvamsat dvamsata gachat gachata tvam gachatvam. Sannikarshat itaha mama sannikarshadito mama. Nahi va hantum ichami smarami upakritani vam. Hatau eva. The hataveva actually in Sandhi is, if you do a padacheda, it is hatau eva. That becomes hataveva. Kritagnau tvau mayi sneha parangmuka. Again, these are all dvivachanam because it is talking about Shuka and Sarana. So everything is coming. Hatau eva, kritagnau, tau, neha parangmukau. So all these are about these two people. So apadvamsata gacchadvam sannikarshad itaha mama sannikarshad itaha apagacchadvam. That's what he says. Go away. Nahi vam hantum ichami. I don't want to kill you. I don't want to kill. So nahi vam hantum ichami smarami upakritani vam. So what they have done a few services in the past. That's why I don't want to kill. Hatau eva kritagnav. Kritagna. Gna is to kill. Kritagna is, Kritagnyata, one who has destroyed, which means ungrateful. They are very ungrateful. Kritagnav tvau hatau mayi sneha parangmukau. So they have parangmukau is to look at the other way. Sneha parangmukau is becoming unfriendly and looking other way, which means ungrateful. In a way, it is ungrateful. So you have been unfaithful and ungrateful to me. So therefore, go away from here. This is what Ravana did when Sukha and Charana came and told him what they saw of on the other side. So these spies went, of course, they were caught and then released and so on. They come back. So in the 30th Sarga, after coming back, Shardula reports to Ravana about Rama and his army and all that. Those are described here. 35 verses in the Sarga. So the first 13 verses, Shardula explains the might and preparations of Rama's army. And he also advises war, return of Sita. See, they should say, please return Sita. But to bosses, most of the bosses all over the world, it looks like even from Krita Yuga, most of the bosses and these elders and all these people who are in positions and so on, they are not going to hear the naked truth if it is not very palatable to them. So you have to tell it, camouflage it, pad it up is something else. So this advice war is actually a hopeless suggestion. But that you have to add, because if you bluntly said return Sita, he will get angry. So therefore, they all of them do that. They say either you do war or return Sita. What is to be understood from here is you better return Sita. That is the meaning there actually. Anyway, and verses 14 to 18, Ravana again dismisses the idea of returning Sita. He asks Shardula for more details about Rama's army. He is getting more and more desperate. So he therefore wants to know more about this um, Rama, who are all with Rama, what kind of you know strength they have. This is what he is interested in. So the rest of the chapter, the Sarga, 19 to 35, Shardula enumerates the list of prominent leaders and what are their strengths. Again, what Shuka and Sarana said, same thing he is saying. So therefore, Valmiki is not repeating it in that much detail. He puts it in a very concise 16 shlokas. Whereas that took 3 sargas, if you remember. They took 3 sargas to explain in so many details. We will see a few shlokas here. So what did Shardula say? Gardau vyuhamasthaya sarvato haribirvritah mam visrijya mahateja lankamevati vartate. Garuda vyuham asthaya sarvatah haribirvritah mam visrijya mahatejaha Lankam eva ati vartate. So that is the padacheda for this shloka. Mam visrijya, having released me, so they let me free. That's why I came here. That's what Shardula is saying. Mam visrijya mahatejaha, those people of great splendor and all that. Garuda Vyuham Astaya, they have said this Garuda Vyuha. There are these, if you look at Dhanurveda, which is one of the Upavedas, there all these are described: the Chakra Vyuha, Padma Vyuha, Ratha Vyuha, then Garuda Vyuha, Pipilika Vyuha. This one Vyuha called Pipilika Vyuha. It's like a long, elephant. I mean, Pipilika is ants. So there are 1,000 ants which going one behind the other. So that Vyuha will be thin army for a long distance, and then there is a huge army at back. So each Vyuha has a certain reason why it has to be done. So Garuda Vyuha. Sarvataha from all sides. Sarvataha means from all sides. Haribihi vritaha, covered or circled by avritaha, by the monkeys. And Lankam eva ativartate. They are approaching Lanka. They are just marching towards Lanka. With Garuda Vyuha, they are coming. That is what I have seen. Pura prakaramayati kshipramekataram kuru Sitam chasmai prayachashu yuddham vapi pradiyatam. Pura means before. Prakaram ayati, before they get into our fort, get into the ramparts and so on. Pura prakaram ayati, kshipram, quickly, immediately. Ekataram kuru, do one of the following. And what are those? Sitam cha asmai prayacha ashu. Quickly you, return, send back Sita. That message he has not understood. That is the message they want to say. And out of fear for them, for Ravana, they are also saying, Yuddham vapi pradhiyatam. So either, get into Yuddha or things like that. But essentially what they are saying is, give back Sita as soon as you can. Yadi mam prati yuddhyante. And what is Ravana's reply for it? Yadi mam prati yuddhyante deva gandharva danavaha naiva sitam pradasyami sarloka bhayadapi. Yadi mam prati yuddhyante deva gandharva danavaha na eva sitam pradasyami sarvaloka bhayat api. Yadi, if mam prati yudyante, they fight against me. And who fight against him? Deva, Gandharva, Danavaha. Devas, Gandharvas, and Danavas. If these people were to fight against me, even then, Sarvaloka Bhayadapi, even if there is a day, I am endangered from all beings from all over the place. Naiva Sitam Pradasyami. I will not return Sita. Because Sita is sitting there, kill Ravana. Why would he return? He won't return. Naiva Sitam Pradasyami Sarvaloka Bhayadapi. So he is very defiant. He continues to say that I will not return Sita at any cost. And when after saying this, he asked, tell me more about these people. So what does Shardula say? Nasti Ramasya Sadrisho Vikrame Bhuvi Kaschana Niradho Nihato Yena Kabandaschanta Kopamaha Nasti Ramasya Sadrisha. There is nobody equal to Rama. Sadrisha means, Sadrishyam means similar, likewise. So Ramasya Sadrisha Nasti. There is no one who is equal to Rama in what? Vikrame, in his prowess. Bhuvi Kaschana, no one in the world, in this earth. Bhuvi Kaschana Nasti, Ramasya Sadrishaha Vikrame. Viradaha Nihataha Yena. He killed Virada. All these are in, and Kabandascha. Also the Kabanda. And Antaka Upamaha. The simile is equal to Antakaha. Antakaha is one who brings the end of everyone, who is Yama. Antakopamaha. He is one who is going to bring the end of everyone. He is like that. There is nobody equal to him. There is nobody who can be, equal to him in his strength and so on. Vaktum nashakto Ramasya gunan kaschinna rakshitau janasthanagata yena tavanto rakshasa hataha. Vaktum na shaktaha Ramasya gunan kaschit naraha kshitav janasthanagataha yena tavantaha rakshasaha hataha. All those visargas are disappeared in the sandhi. So when you do a padacheda, you get rakshasaha, janasthanagataha, all that. So that is the padacheda. So vaktum na shaktaha Ramasya gunan kaschin naraha kshito vaktum na. Nobody on earth can really describe or narrate the qualities of Rama, the gunas of Rama. It's very difficult. Janasthanagataha. These 14,000 people who were killed in Janasthana, in Aranyakanda we saw that. Dhavantaha Rakshasaha Hataha. All those who were in Janasthana, he cleaned up all of them. So it is very difficult to say what kind of a person he is. He is no ordinary. That is what Shardula feels. See, every one of them came and told in so many terms, such unambiguous, clear terms. instead of understanding the danger which is befalling on him, he was blindfolded on Sita and he did tiraskara of all these good advices. That's what is happening, we are seeing. Because these are final approach for his death. That's why all these are coming in so many details. Lakshmanaschatra dharmatma matanganam vivarshavah matanganavam. There's some typos here. Yasya bhanapatam prapya na jivedapi vasavah. Lakshmanascha atra dharmatma matanganam abhi varshabah. I think the va is extra there. You have to remove that. Matanganam abhi varshabah. Yasya bhanapatam prapya na jivedapi vasavah. So how is Lakshmana? The Lakshmana is like elephants, like Abhi Varshabha. So amongst the elephants, he is the best. Matanganam Abhi Varshabha. This is a typos there. Yasya Bhana Patam, the path. Tam is path. The path of his arrows, right? Whenever he puts arrows. Na jivet api vasavaha. Vasavaha api na jivet. So even Indra, who is the lord of the Devas, cannot even survive. He is like that. So Shardula says this Rama and Lakshmana is a deadly combination. They are extraordinary in terms of what they are, is what Shardula is saying here. So far what has happened is Shuka was sent to the other side of the ocean. He returned back. And he was not giving a very comfortable picture for Ravana. Then when Ravana was not very sure, he sent Shuka and Sharana together. They came back. They also did not give a very confident picture. On the other hand, they were only warning. Now he sent a set of spies. And when he sent a set of spies, they also, Shardula came and said the same thing. So now Ravana is into some, he is really, I think, becoming more and more jittery. So the question is, what would happen to such a person? See, it is not about Ravana, it is about us. It is about our life situations. The context exactly may not be this, but the larger context is, we are after something. We are very hell-bent on having something, and things are not coming our way. These things happen in our life. We don't need a Ravana and Sita, but we can take the structure out of this discussion. So, what do we do? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has said so beautifully. He said, Dhyayate Vishayan Pumsaha, Sangasteshu Upajayate, Sanga Sanjayate Kamaha, Kamat Krodo Vijayate, Krodad Bhavati Sammoha, Sammoha Smriti Vibhramaha, Smriti Bramshad Buddhi Nashaha, Buddhi Nasha Pranashyati. So Ravana has come to, Smriti Bramshaha. His Smriti he is now getting very desperate. What in Bhagavad Gita is said in Shloka 63 in chapter 2, that is what Ravana is going through. And in certain situations in our life, we will also go through similar things. The context and the players and the entity and the subject may be different. So what will he do? Smriti Pramshad Buddhi Nashaha. That is, Buddhi Nasha will happen. So for Ravana, Buddhi Nasha started. How did it start? And how does it generally work? So first of all, this is the path that people will follow. Ravana is also following the same path only. Let us believe in oneself. It's a huge ahankara of extraordinary magnitude. believe in oneself. I can do everything is me. That's why he says, Devadana Gandharvaha, Devadana Gandharva Danavaha. If they come also, Edi Mam Prati Dyante, just now we saw. Deva Gandharvaha, Gandharva Danavaha. That's what he said, no? So belief in oneself and very strong selfish desires. This is where this Buddhinasha starting happens. Everyone advises against own wish. So he was not hearing whatever these people said were not music to his ears. Not at all. What Shuka said, what Shuka and Sarana came and said, what Shardula said, nothing. None of them are music to his ears. And why we are talking about here? You go to Aranyakanda. What Maricha said was not music to his ears. He was not willing to listen to Maricha also. So everyone advises, but it is against his wish. So he's not going to listen. And initially there is a lot of courage. So he bravely dismisses all advices. He says, whatever you say, I'm not going to do anything about it. So he says, I'm not going to. So he bravely dismisses all advices. Then slowly this internal fear of losing begins. That's where the Smriti Bramsha and Buddhinasha, all this starts. So there is this internal fear of losing. And once that happens, the Buddhinasha is perfect. So what did Ravana also happened to him? So it gets into desperation. Not only for Ravana, I know we may have situation which we will also go through this downward slide of thoughts. So there is some desperation. Oh, this is going to get out of our hands. So now I will destroy. I will not do anything dharmic. I can go. I'll do all adharma also. So I will get out of my normal ways of doing things. I will resort to foul play. So Ravana exactly got there. After hearing all these, and this is why I'm showing this. This is a clear indication that there is an internal fear of losing which has already set in Ravana. Even before the war is going to go, this has set in him that there is something which is going wrong. That's why the desperation has come. So he did something out of desperation. And he resorted to cheap foul play, which a person of great character or a great strength or a great pedigree would never do. He actually did it. So let us see what did he do in this process. 31st Sarga, Ravana's foul play with the help of Vidyut. So 45 verses 1 to 8, Ravana discusses the issue with the ministers, all that being told. And then I think the ministers were also just sort of not really very encouragingly telling him things. Then this idea comes, he asks Vidyut. This Vidyut, I think this Vidyut is the husband of Panakai. So he asked him to bring a fake chopped head of Rama to cheat Sita. This fellow will do all the Maya Jal. So you tell him, he tells him, bring a severed head of blood-stained head of Rama. Let's go. So they go to Ashokavana, and 9 to 17, Ravana informs Sita of killing of Rama. Ravana gives details of how Rama was killed, all plain lies and cooked up stories. Rama was killed by Prahasta, and one of the big mistake Ravana did was he said Rama was killed on the other side of the ocean. He did not tell her they crossed the ocean and have come here. He said even before they were attempting it, he has been killed. All these from stories he says. When people lie, See, lying is very difficult. Lying is very complex. Truth is very simple. When we lie, particularly when you have to say a series of lies, you need extraordinary, very tight algorithm, very tight logic, because somewhere we will contradict. In fact, all these violence, all these murder and all that, and interrogation. This is exactly what they do. So when you lie, as I keep on talking to someone who is lying, you'll find the contradiction. Because lying is not easy. So this Ravana, in his bunch of lies, he also told Rama was killed on the other side of the ocean, even before coming here. And then after giving all this preamble, he orders with this jihad to bring and the Rama's fake head and the bow in front of Sita. All these are played out in this sarga. We'll see some shlokas here. Vidyujjihvam mayagyam abravit rakshasadipaha mohayishyavahe Sitam mayaya janakatmajam. Vidyujjihvam cha mayagyam abravit rakshasadipaha mohayishya avahe Sita mohayishyavahe. It's a single word. Mohayishyavahe. It's a parasmit. Sita mayaya janakatmajam. So it says janakatmajam Sitam mayaya, by just foul play, maya, illusion, mohayishyavahe. You try to use your the tricks that you are used to conjure those tricks, and let us try to mislead and cheat Sita. And this Vidyujjihva is Mayagnya. Mayagnya, as in Sanskrit, an ending Gyan is no. Jnanam. From Jnanam, Gnya comes. So Mayagnya is the knower of Maya. Sarvagnya is one who is know of everything. Alpagnya is one who knows very little. Here it is Mayagnya, one who knows Maya, who is Vidyujjihva. Mayagyam, Vidyujjihvam. Abravit Rakshasadipaha. So Ravana told to Vidyujjihva, come and show your tricks. And what to be shown, that is coming in the next sloka. Shiro Maya Mayam Grihya Agavasya Nishachara Mam Tvam Samupatishtasva Mahachya Sasharam Danuhu. Mayaya Shiraha Mayaya Mayamayam Grihya Ragavasya Nishachara Mam Tvam Samupatishtasva Mahat Cha Sasharam Danuhu. The Padacheda. So what he says, Ragavasya Mayamayam Shiraha Grihya He Nishachara. This Nishachara is the Sambodhana for Vidyujjihva. He is also a Nishachara. All of these fellows are all demons only. So He Nishachara, Ragavasya Mayamayam Shiraha Grihya. Take this fake head of Raghava. Mahat cha Sasharam Danu, the bow and the arrow. Danu along with the bow. Sharena saha Sasharam. So Sasharam Danu Mahat cha Mayaya Grihya. This also add to it. So the head and the bow and the arrows. Mam Tom Samyak Upatishta. So you be along with me. You bring all these along with me. We will go and confuse this later. Karahanta sate bharta ragavasamare hataha chinnam te sarvata moolam tatpascha nihato maya. Karahanta sate bharta ragavaha samare hataha. Te Bharta Raghavaha, your husband Raghava, who is Karahanta, who killed Kara. Kara and Dushana in Aranyakanda we saw in Janastan. Who killed Kara? Taha Samare Hataha. In the small battle he was killed. Samare Hataha. Te Chinnam. The very your Chinnam is your reference, your sai, your existence or your sign or whatever, your pride, whatever. Sarvata Moolam Te Chinnam. Also Darpa, pride. Nihataha Maya. I have cut it at the root. Both your pride and your moolam, your root and your pride, both has been destroyed by me. Chinnamte sarvata moolam darpascha nihato maya. Then he says, Vyasanenatmanas site mama bharya bhavishyasi visrujaitam matim moodhe kim mritena karishyasi. Vyasanena atmanah site mama bharya bhavishyasi visrija etam matim moodhe kim mritena karishyasi. Atmanah vyasanena, because of this new predicament that has happened to you, hey Sita, mama bharya bhavishyasi. Now you have no choice. You will become my wife because Rama is finished now. Mama bharya bhavishyasi. Visrija, drop off, give up. Etam matim, this thought that you are going to be united and all that and so on. Hey Moode, hey, oh foolish one, give up this thought. Visrija etam matim, hey Moode. Kim ritena karishyasi. What are you going to do with this dead person? Nothing is going to happen. Idam tattavaramasya karmukam jyasamavrutam iha prahastena nitam tam hatva nishimanusham. Idam tat tava ramasya karmukam jyasamavrutam iha prahastena anitam tam hatva nishimanusham. So idam, so here, this tava ramasya karmukam. So this is the belonging of your, this is the bow, and jya samartham. Jya means actually arc. Word geometry came from jya mitihi. See, Sanskrit word jya mitihi. It is the reach, it is all about this arc, the property of arc. It's called geometry, out of which geometry came. Arabs actually picked up this and they called it as geometry actually. So jya means arc. Basically, arc means the string in the bow. So jya samavritam karmukam, ramasya karmukam. This is the bow with its card stretched. That's why it forms some jya. Iha now Prahastena anitam. Prahasta brought this. Tam hatva. Tam manusham. That, this Rama is an ordinary human being. Tam manusham hatva. And when? Nishi, in the night. See, everything is foul play. So their design also foul play. Why can't they kill them in the daytime? He's saying they are killing them in the night. Because these are all foul plays. They don't know straight games. So, tam hatva nishi manusham. He has brought this bow and the arrow also. Bow and the card, not arrow. Jya samavritam karmukam. Sa vidyujjihvena sahaiva. Sa vidyujjihena sahaiva tachiro. Danuscha bhumo vinikiryamanaha. Videharajasya sutam yashasvim. Tato pravitam bhavameva shanuga. Saha vidyujjihvena sahaiva tat shiraha danuscha bhumau vinikiryamanaha. Videharajasya sutam yashashvinim tataha brabit tam bhava me vashanuga. Vidyujjihvena tachiraha sahaiva danuscha. So he brought along with him Vidyujjihva, it was brought by Vidyujjihva. What along with him? What? Tashiraha, the fake head. Danuscha, also the bow. Bhumo Vinikiryamana. So he was placing it on the ground. Videharajasya Suta, which is Sita, Vaidehi. Videharajasya Sutam Yashashvini. Tataha, thereafter, on all these are cooked up and made up. No, he says she has been killed by Prahasta, all that in the night and so on. Now he says, hey, bring it. So she brings it, keeps it in front of her. Tataha, thereafter, Abravit, Tam Abravit. He told her, Ravana told her, Me Vashanuga Bhava. You have now become Mama Vasha Anuga. Follow my desire means submit to my desire because everything is done. You become submissive to my desire. So that is what Ravana did, a very cheap, low-level activity. The very fact that he did this is a clear indication he has lost the ground. Internally, he has lost his confidence. That's what it is pointing to. 32nd Sarga, 44 verses, 30 verses. So Sita was shocked because she didn't know all this foul play. Temptation of Sita seeing the severe death of Rama. Ravana, and then towards the end of the Sarga, some Rakshasis came and say there is an urgent message from Prahasta. And what is the urgent message? I think we better prepare the army. Things are happening bad. That's what he is going to say. So anyway, he leaves immediately. आर्येण किं नु कैकेय्याः कृतं रामेण विप्रियं यन्मया चीरवसनं दत्त्वा प्रस्थापितो वनं. So Sita starts recollecting all these old stories. He says, Aryena, Ramena Aryena, Kaikeyaha kim vipriyam kritam. She says, what wrong did Rama did to Kaikeyi? Kaikeyaha vipriyam kim Ramena Aryena nu kritam, kim kritam nu. What did he do? Yat maya chiravasanam dattva. You sent him prastapitaha vanam. He was sent along with me by giving us this, dress bark, chiravasan, made of wooden barks. What did he do? Her thought goes there because all these are happening starting from there. So that's what Sita thinks. Eva muktva tu vaidehi vepamana tapasvini jagama jagatim bala chinnatu kadali yata. Evam uktva tu vaidehi vepamana tapasvini jagama jagatim bala chinnatu kadali yata. So, Eva Muktva, having said like this, tu indeed, Vaidehi, Vepamana, she was shivering, trembling. Tapasvini Vaidehi, Vepamana, she was sort of very taken off. Jagama, Jagatim, so she was falling on the ground actually. Jagama Jagatim. Chinna, like what? Bala Kadali Chinna tu Yata. It's like a small plantain tree which was cut off and which is falling on the ground. Bala Kadali Chinna tu Yata. So, or the Bala can be taken to this side also. You can use whichever way you want. So, basically, the idea is she trembled and fell on the ground, thinking about this whole starting of this bad thing which has culminated here with the Vanavasa. महद्दुःखं प्रपन्नाय मग्नाया शोकसागरे यो हि माम् उद्यत्रस्तातुं सोऽपि त्वं विनिपातितः महत् दुःखं प्रपन्नायाः मग्नायाः शोकसागरे यः हि माम् उद्यत्रस्तातुं सः अपि त्वं विनिपातितः. So she is telling to Ravana. So the first line says, Mahat Dukkam Prapannayaha, one who is into great dukkha, Magnayaha, immersed in that Shoka Sagare, in that ocean of grief. So Sita was immersed in the ocean of grief and she is into great dukkha, right? Yaha hi mam udyatastrastum. Tratum udyustaha actually. He was to actually protect me. His idea was to protect me. Mam udyuta stratum. Tra is to protect, no? So actually the one who is all set out to protect me, tvam vinipatitaha. You saha tvam been killed by the enemies. He has been killed. He wanted to actually protect me, but he is gone now. That's what Sita is saying. Mama hetoranaryayaha nagaparthivatmajah ramasagaramuttirya viryavan goshpadehataha. Mama hetoho, there is a hetoho, there is a visarga. That visarga has become pra. That's why anaryayaha. Mama hetoho anaryayaha anagaha parthivatmajah Ramah Sagaram Uttirya Viryavan Goshpade Hatah. Mama Hetoho, for my cause. And what kind of a person I am? Anaryaya, not Aryaya. Anaryaya. I am not a cultured person. She says like that. She says, I am an unworthy person. I am an unworthy person. And for my sake, Mama Hetoho Anaryaya. He is, how is he? He is Anagaha, not Agaha. He is Anagaha. He is sinless, faultless. Parthivatmaja. Okay. He is a person of great strength. Parthivatmaja. Ramaha. Sagaramuttirya Viryavan. He had crossing the ocean for the cause of me. Goshpade Hataha. In a small petty battle, he was sort of killed. That's what Sita was saying. Sadhu gatayamam kshipram Ramasyopari Ravanaha Samanayapatim Patnya Guru Kalyana Muktam. Sadhu gataya mam kshipram Ramasya upari Ravana. Ravana. I don't think it must be a Shambhodana. I don't think the Visarga is quite there. Samanaya Patim Patniya Guru Kalyanam Uttamam. So he say, hey Ravana, Sadhu Gataya Mam Kshipram. You kill me, kill me well. Sadhu Gataya Mam Kshipram. Ramasya Upari. And now that Rama is killed, kill me also. Samanaya, Samyak Anaya, Patim Patnyaha Kuru. So you unite me with him. Unite me with him. Kalyanam Uttamam. That is the most admirable act. Given the opportunity, this is all you have to do that. Arrange to kill me. Kshipram Gataya. Okay. Sadhu Kuru. Sadhu Kuru is Kalyanam Uttamam. Unite me with Patim Patniya Samanaya. Sadhu Kuru Kalyanam Uttamam. Hey Ravana. So that's what she's saying. You kill me and then put me along with Rama. That's all is required now. That's the better thing you can do. Shirasa me shiraschasya Kayam kayena yojaya Ravana gamishyami gatim vartrur mahatmah Shirasa me Shirasaha cha asya Kayam kayena yojaya Ravana anugamishyami. There it says Ravana anugamishyami gatim bartuhu mahatmanah. So shirasascha kayam kayena. You yojaya. You unite body with his body and my head with his head. That's all. You me like what you have done to him and then put him along with him. That's what she is saying. Shirasa me shirasascha asya shirasasya kayam kayena yojaya. You do that. Ravana Anugamishiyami. Hey Ravana, I will follow him. Anugamishiyami. Go along that gatim. Anugamishiyami Bartuhu gatim. Mahatmanaha Bartuhu gatim. That great person, I will also follow suit. You do the same thing to me also and done. Nothing else is required. This is what Sita is saying. In between, there are a lot of lamentations. I skipped all those shlokas. Sarga 33, Sarama reveals the bluff of Ravana. So there is one lady called Sarama. She actually says all these are bluff. That's what she does actually. So first 18 verses, Sarama informs Sita that Ravana said what Ravana said were all bluff. Further, she says there is a sound of kettle drum and horses, etc. going on. All these are actually indications of war preparing for the war. And in the 29th to 38th Sarga, Sarama says Rama will vanquish Lanka and kill Ravana and restore Sita. Don't worry. See, this is what it is. If somebody indulges in dharma, this way Manusmriti says, Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha, dharma eva hato hanti. If somebody destroys dharma, initially for some time it will all look good. Everything will look very interesting, but it will come back as avalanche. And when it comes back as avalanche, the whole world will actually, play it out in such a way that it will support this dharma. So that is why this Sarama is all of a sudden reconciling and relieving Sita of her pain, because Sita is on the dharma side. So that is what is happening here. So what Sarama says by pacifying Sita, Tamashvasihi vaidehi ma bhut te manata vyata ukta yat ravanena tvam prayuktam cha swayam tvaya saki snehena tadviru maya sarvam pratishrutam Leenaya gahane shunye. A lot of typos. It's gahane, not ganahe. It is gahane. Gahane punye. Payam usrajya ravana. Tava hetor vishalakshi. Nahime ravanat bhayam. Now I am taking all these shlokas from a different site. Earlier I was taking from IIT Kanpur site. But IIT Kanpur site doesn't have Yuddha. So now I am taking from another site. There's a lot of typo. I'm seeing it only now very seriously. It's Gahane, not Ganahe actually. Anyway, Samashwasihi, Samyak Ashwasihi, Samashwasihi, Vaidehi, Ma Bhut Te Manasa Vyata. So don't get disturbed by your mind, by what he said. Samyak Ashwasaya, you know, slow down, don't worry. You just don't worry. Samashwasihi vaidehi ma bhut manasa vyata te manasa vyata ma bhut. So unnecessarily don't rattle your mind. Okay, just be calm. Ukta yat ravanena tvam, what he told to you was told by him to you. Ukta yat ravanena tvam. Prayuktam cha swayam tvaya. what you told to him, I have been hearing all this. So what Ravana told you, Sayat Ravanenatvam, Prayuktam cha swayam toya. By yourself, what did you told? Okay? Saki snehena, out of my, uh, act of friendship towards you. Saki snehena, tadbiru maya sarvam pratishrutam. I heard all of them. I heard all of that you have spoken, right? How? Dinaya gahane shunye, right? By, by hiding myself in the space somewhere, shunye, by disappearing there. Okay. Dinaya gahane shunye, maya sarvam pratishrutam. That's what I heard all of them. Bayam utsrajya Ravanat. Don't, have this fear on Ravana. In fact, I don't have a fear. She says, Bayam Usrijya Ravana. Without, not that I don't have fear. She says, Bayam Usrijya, I don't have any fear. I have given up fear on Ravana. So I took the courage to come and hide somewhere here and hear the whole thing that he is talking to. Tava hetoho visalakshi nahi me Ravanat bayam. For your sake, I don't have any fear on Ravana. That's why I did all these. So that's what it is. When adharma shows its ugly face, God has 1,000 ways by which it will do the nivarana of that. It will, somehow sort it out. Then in between, she says a few things. I have skipped to nearly the end of the chapter. दृष्टो मे परिपूर्णार्थः काकुत्स्थः लक्ष्मणः सहितै सागरान्तस्तै फलैस्तिष्ठति रक्षितः दृष्टः मे परिपूर्णार्थः काकुत्स्थः सः लक्ष्मणः सहितैः सागरान्तस्तैः फलैः tishtati rakshitah. So that is the padacheda here. Me drishtah, maya drishtah. He was seen by me. Me drishtah. Paripurnatah. Kakutsah. So who was paripurnartha? He is not disturbed. He is not without his senses and all that. His Purushartha is with him fully. Purnartha Kakutstha Saha Lakshmana Lakshmanena Saha. I have seen him along with Lakshmana. Lakshmanena Saha. Not only that, Sagar, Sahitaihi Sagarantastaihi. In the vicinity, Sagara Antastaihi Sahitaihi. He is gathered at the vicinity of the ocean. Sagar Anta means not inside, very, very close. That's what it meant. Anta means inside, in the sense very close. Sagarantahi balaihi tishtati rakshitah. A lot of strong people, troops gathered and they are all around him. I have seen Rama in full, he is in full form and full measure along with Lakshmana on this side of the ocean. Right? That is what? Who said? That is coming in the second shloka. Who said that? That is in the 28th shloka. The next shloka. Anena preshita yecha rakshasa lagu vikramaha ragavastirna ityevam pravrittistairiha hrita. Anena preshitaha yecha rakshasaha. All those are visargas are all lopada. They are all gone. Anena preshitaha yecha rakshasaha lagu vikramaha ragavastirnaha ityevam pravrittihi. There it is pravrittihi. There is a visarga there which becomes sakara. Pravrittis. So pravrittihi. Again taihi. There is a visarga there which becomes a ra. That's why you have riha hritaha. It is there. So pravrittihi taihi iha ahrita. This is a padacheda. So anena preshitaha rakshasaha, lagu vikramaha rakshasaha, right? So all these swiftly going lagu vikramaha rakshasaha, preshitaha by anena. Anena means Ravanena. So all these demons who were sent by Rakshasa Ravana, they told this. Ragavastirna, Ragavaha Tirnaha iti. Tirnaha means Uttirnaha means crossed. Ragavaha Tirnaha iti evam pravrittihi taihi iha agrita. This message was brought by them. The news was brought by them. Iha agrita. It is brought by them now by these demons. They said he is in full measure. So don't worry. All these is bluffing to you. All those are just fake. So Sita develops a little strength on the whatever Sarama said. Sarama said. So in this sarga, 34th sarga, there are 28 verses. Suppose in the first 11 verses, Sita is happy to hear Sarama's words, and now Sita wants to know what exactly is the plan of Ravana. So what's happening now? And his ministers, can you at least find that for me? So then Sarama was able to get that for her. So in the verses 12 to 28, Sarama narrates the advices given by the ministers to Ravana and Sita and war matters. So what has happened there, she also tells that to Sita. So we'll see a couple of shlokas here. Jananya rakshasendro vai tvanmokshartam brihatvachah aviddhena cha vaidehi mantri vrittena bodhitah. Jananya rakshasendraha vai tvam twat, not tvam, twat mokshartam brihatvachah aviddhena cha vaidehi mantri vriddena bodhitah. Now who has gotten into the act, you see? Jananya. Rakshasendra hai Jananya. The mother of Ravana. The mother of Ravana, Tvat mokshartam brihatvachah. He spoke this big word saying, leave Sita. Tvat mokshartam. Not only Ravana's mother, Aviddena mantri vriddena. This very elderly aged minister by name Avidda. He also, hey Vaidehi, Bodhitaha. He was advised by Ravana's mother and this very elderly minister called Avidda. Both of them told Ravana, Tvat mokshartam Vaidehi, to release you. Don't hold on, release. Diyatam abhisatkritya Manujendraya Maithili Nidarshanam Te Paryaptam Janastane Yadadbhutam. Diyatam Abhisatkritya. Now at least, Satkritya Manujendraya Abhisatkritya Maithilim Diyatam. I think honorably restored. Satkaram Kritva Maithilim Prati Diyatam. Just send her back in a very honorable way to, Manujanam Indraha, Manujendraya, to Rama. Send him. That is the best thing to do, is what Ravana's mother and his elderly minister is saying. Nidarshanam te paryaptam. This is enough. Don't you see this Nidarshanam? There is this eye-opener. This and what is that? Janastane yat adbhutam. This thing that happened in Janastana, don't you not infer anything from that? 15,000 demons were killed by Rama single-handedly. Don't you see there is an eye-opener for you? So don't do this. Return back. Honorably Abhi Satkritya, Satkaram Kritya Manujendraya Maithili Diyatam. It's what Ravana's mother and another elderly minister is also saying. So the list is growing. List of people advising is simply growing. And Ravana is not going to at all listen to any of these people. Langanam cha samudrasya darshanam cha hanumatah vadam cha rakshasam yuddhe kakuryan manusho bhuvi. All they are telling, you see. Langanam cha samudrasya. You thought it is impossible to cross the ocean, they have crossed. Langanam cha samudrasya. Darshanam cha hanumatah. Hanuman came and saw Sita. That itself was impossible. Because who can cross the ocean without any landmark for 100 yojana and come here? Darshanam cha hanumatah. Vatam cha rakshasam yuddhe. So many people were killed in the Yuddha. Oh, in Janasthana, it includes both the Janasthana and also what Hanuman did in Ashokavana. In the last Sundarakanda, we saw that. Sargas 41 to 52 is all these war. So, Vadam cha rakshasam yuddhe. Kaha kuryat. Manushaha bhui. Which kind of a human being can do all these in this world? Why don't you look at all these? There are enough signals. Why are you ignoring all the signals? Don't you see all these? Is what they are asking. Then, Yevam cha mantri vrittaischa matra cha bahubhashitaha natvam utsahate moktum arthamartha paro yata. Evam, like this, saha mantri vrittaischa, that elderly minister, matra cha, by the mother also, matra cha, bahubhashitaha. So much has been, they have been repeatedly trying to tell Ravana, somehow trying to convince. Bahubhashitaha. Natvam utsahe moktum. Your moksha is not willing to give you up. Naha na tvam utsahatum. And how? Artham arthaparo yata. This miser, these people who are very greedy of money, they will find very difficult to take 1 rupee and give. And they'll have extraordinary happiness to take 1,000 rupee from you and put it into their pocket. But to give 1 rupee, their heart will ache. So, artham arthaparo yata, the reluctance of miser to part away with money, that kind of reluctance this Ravana is having. With so much of multiple counseling, he is not ready to actually give up. This is in his mind, is what Sarama is saying. Sita. Now, 31st, 5th Sarga, Malyavan. Malyavan is his maternal uncle. Ravana's maternal uncle. Mata has said, now Matulaha, Matuhu Brata, Matulaha, Sahapi Vadati. Malyavan's advice to Ravana. It's a nice sarga actually. 37 verses in the sarga. First 16 verses, Malyavan is urging Ravana to return Sita and somehow broker peace with do that. This is time to broker peace and not fight war, is what Malyavan is saying. 17th 23, Malyavan also says the Devas and other good forces are aligned with Rama. Please see that. And finally he says, the number of bad omens and strange happenings in Lanka. There is a description of all of that there. So you have to, triangulate. There are so many signals coming. Don't get so much blindfolded by a single point and focus on Sita. Although you started with that, we have covered enough ground now. There are so many data points available. Why are you not looking at any of these? And if you look at all these data points and make any crude, even a crude sense of what it is, even an idiot will know you have to give back Sita. That is what I think all these people are trying to say, one after the other. So that is what Malyavan is saying. We will see a few shlokas from this sarga. Asrijat Bhagavan Pakshav Svaveva hi pitamahaha Suranam Asuranam cha Dharma dharmo tatashrayau. Again, there are a lot of dvivachanam here because we are talking of two entities here. That's why in Sanskrit we use the dvivachanam. Asrijat Bhagavan Pitamaha. Asrijat Bhagavan Pakshau Dvau Eva. The Dvav Eva is actually Dvau Eva. He Pitamaha. Suranam Asuranam. Dharma Adharmo. Dharma Dharmo. Single word only. Dharma Dharmo. Tatashrayo. Pitamaha Bhagavan Pitamaha Dvau Eva Pakshau He Asrijat. Bhagavan Pitamaha, indeed, Dvau Pakshau Eva Asrijat. He created only two factions. When he created the whole thing, he created only two factions. Suranam, Asuranam, called Suras and the Asuras, the opposite of Suras. And why did he make that? Dharma Dharmo Tadashrayo. Dharma Adharmo Tad Ashrayo. So, to actually follow Dharma and Adharma in Sanskrit, Panini also says that in his sutra, Echoyavayavaha, in that sutra also he says that there is one practice in Sanskrit which is implied, which is generally understood. See, look at this Dharma, Dharma. So it is saying Dharma and Adharma. In the earlier phrase, it says Suranam, Asuranam. Now the question is, how do you map this Dharma and Adharma? Will Dharma go to Sura or Asura? Will Adharma go to Sura or Asura? In English, we will use the word respectively to point out that the order has to be strictly followed. In Sanskrit, when two entities are told and a description of the two entities are told following that, the respectively is implied. That is the practice. So when you say Dharma, Dharma, the Dharma must be related to Sura, the Adharma must be related to Asura. Everywhere you will have to do it in Sanskrit. They will not, it is a very concise language. They will not say respectively and all that. It is always implied. So that is how it is. Dharma, Dharmo, Tadashrayo. Dharmo hi shruyate pakshaha suranam cha mahatmanam adharmo rakshasam pakshaha yasuranam cha ravana. Dharmaha hi shruyate pakshaha suranam cha mahatmanam. So these great souls, Mahatmanaha and Suras, Devas, this Dharma is always slanted towards them. That's what it is. He says the Dharma's Paksha is towards Sura and Mahatmana. Adharmaha Rakshasam Asuranam cha. So there is Rakshasa and Asuras. Asusu Ramante iti Asuraha, who revel in only sensory pleasures in a very big way. Asuras. Rakshasas are those who are very cruel. They revel in inflicting violence on others. So one group which find pleasure in inflicting violence on others, another which is Asuras, which revels in only Indriya, in all the sensory pleasure. They are the Rakshasas and Asuras. So this Adharma is on their side. Adharma actually joins hands only with that. Adharmo Rakshasam Pakshaha. He Asuranam cha Ravana. So, hey Ravana, understand this is what it is. And he himself is saying, Malyavan himself is saying, who is a Rakshasa. Dharmo vai grasate dharmam yada kritama yugam adharmo grasate dharmam yada tishya pravartate. Dharmaha vai grasate adharmam. There is a avagraha symbol there. When ekara and okara is there, when some word is ending with a or o, and if it is followed by the letter a, the a will become lopa. And to indicate when you do a padacheda, you have to get back the a. That is why that avagraha symbol is indicated there. It is called, Purva Rupa. It takes the Purva Rupa. So dharma vai grasate adharma. Dharma grasate means catches or swallows or overpowers or whatever, you can take it like that. Dharma overpowers adharma yada kritam krita yugam abhut. In the krita yuga, they are in the krita yuga actually. In the krita yuga, dharma will overpower adharma. Adharmo grasate dharmam yada tishyaha pravartate. This adharma will overpower dharma when it was tishya. Tishya means fourth. You know, we say turiya, no, like that. Tishya. When tishya pravartate, fourth age or fourth yuga, Kali Yuga. So in Kali Yuga, adharma will overpower dharma. In Krita Yuga, dharma will overpower adharma. So you be on the right side is what he is saying. Tatvaya charata lokan dharmo vinihato mahan adharma pragrhitascha tenasmad bali appare. Tat tvaya charata lokan, when you are wandering in the world, dharmo mahan nihitah. You actually destroyed a lot of dharma. Dharmo nihitah mahan adharma pragrhitascha. You were always taking on adharma, and you are destroying a lot of dharma. Tena asmat balinaha pare. Because of that, our enemies, pare balinaha, they have become stronger. They have become actually stronger on account of this act that you have done. Tapramadat vivruddhaste adharmo hirgrasate hinaha vivardhayati paksham cha pranam sunabhavanaha. Pramadat, by this foolish act, by this delusion or not a good thinking, proper thinking. Vivrudaste means engulfed actually. Adharmaha ahihi grasate hinaha. So it says ahi is actually the snake. So just like the snake just goes, sort of covers, in the same way the adharma is going to engulf us. Vivardhayati paksham cha suranam surabhavanaha. Whereas on the other side, it is only going to grow. Vivardhayati paksham cha suranam surabhavanaha. These because of these gods, that godly thing and the dharma will only grow on the other side. Whereas on your side, because of the adharma, this adharma is going to coil you, just like a snake is coiling around the neck. Like that, it is going to just finish you. That's what Malyavan is saying. Maternal uncle. Then, Vishnum manyamahe ramam manusham dehamastitam nahi manushamatrosau ragavo drida vikramaha yena baddha samudrasya sasetu paramadbutah kurushva nararajena sandhim ramena ravana nyatva vadharya karmani kriyatam ayati kshamam. Vishnu manyamahe ramam. I think Rama is Sakshat Vishnu. Malyavan is saying. Vishnu manyamahe ramam manusham dehamastitam. Vishnu has taken human body. Manusham dehamastitam. Nahi manusha matraha asau. Raghavaha dradavikramaha. This Raghava is not kevalam a manushya. Don't miscalculate like this. Nahi manusha matram asau Raghavaha dradavikramaha. Nahi manusha matraha. I don't think he is an ordinary human being like you think. You seem to have so much of udasina bhava. He is not like that. I think he is Vishnu who has taken the human form. Yena baddha samudrasya sasetu paramadbutah. He has built a bridge across the ocean. Impossible. He has built a ocean across the bridge across the ocean. These are all superhuman, actually. Kurushva Nararajena, Ramena, He Ravana, Sandhi, get into peace. Sandhi is peace. So get into peace with Rama. Don't do all this. Kurushva Ramena Sandhim, He Ravana. Nararajena Ramena, Sandhim Kurushva Ravana. Jnatva avadharya. You carefully tread this path. Karmani avadharya. You have your acts. You have to do carefully. Kriyatam ayatiksh. With a little understanding and careful understanding, you should go forward. I don't think it is really possible to find. He doesn't seem to be ordinary human being. He is extraordinary. And he seems to be Vishnu who has taken the human form. This much Malyavan has said. Everybody has told what needs to be told. Nobody can afford luxury of this much of true advice, which Ravana has received. We will have to wait and see what Ravana did. I think I will stop here for the day with the Mangala Shloka. We will stop here for the day. The point is, so many people have time and again come and has given Ravana so much of truth and reality and everything. But as you know, Ravana did a tiraskara of all these. He developed such a udasina for all this, and that was already. So even before the war starts, is over. All these are clearly showing Ravana has no future. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यो शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्रिणः सन्तु पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधना सधना सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतं शृण्वन् रामायणं भक्त्या यः पदं भव स याति ब्रह्मणस्थानं ब्रह्मणा पूज्यते सदा हरिः ओम्.